Are you looking for a pair of motorcycle jeans that will provide you AAA rated protection, keep you warm on winter rides, and yet remain lightweight and flexible enough that you can keep them on during the working day? If so, then the Roadskin PARANOID X motorcycle jeans could be just what you're looking for. Now, Roadskin sent me these jeans to review several months ago, and I've been wearing them for my daily commute to work through some of the coldest months of the winter, really. So I've given them a pretty good test, and one of the things I like about working with Roadskin is that they don't dictate anything that I say in a review. This is all my own opinion. I'm free to point out any negatives as well as positives, and yeah, they don't see the video before I release it or anything like that. So this is a review as I find the jeans. They are a double layer construction designed to provide a very good level of protection. They're AAA rated and comfort. The outer layer is a blend of Kevlar with other materials to give it other properties. It's 48% cotton, 26.8% Kevlar, 19.4% polyester, 3.2% Cordura and 2.6% Lycra. And that blend gives a very sort of traditional denim-like feel. They've got sort of a good degree of stretch and flexibility, much as you'd expect from a premium sort of pair of ordinary denim jeans. Now, the inner layer is 100% top of the line black Kevlar, and that's what gives you really that AAA rated level of protection. But surprisingly, despite this sort of rather heavy duty double layer construction, they only weigh 25% more than the ordinary Taranis Roadskin jeans, which again are very comfortable. I wore those for most of the summer. But these PARANOID X jeans are ideally suited really to winter riding and sort of colder weather adventure touring. And as I say, I've been using mine really for winter commuting. And because the whole pair of jeans, the whole item of clothing itself is AAA rated, you can have a good degree of confidence in the protection they provide, rather than, as in some jeans, just the material that the jeans are made of having that rating. Now, they come as standard with level 2 smoothways armour for knee and hip, as do all the Roadskin jeans range, but they've sent me an upgrade to Rayon armour. Now, the Rayon armour still provides that level 2 protection, but is specially designed to be lightweight, comfortable and cool. The armour is actually specially 3D printed using what's known as a non-Newtonian material. So the material that it's made out of doesn't behave like a normal soft rubbery material like the ordinary smoothways armour. It's very pliable and sort of soft under normal circumstances, but if you give it a sort of shock impact, then it becomes very firm and solid, and that's what enables them to make it so sort of thin and lightweight, is that sort of change in the properties of the material when it's under impact. This armour is only 10mm thick, and the knee armour weighs 135 grams and the hip armour only 93 grams. Now, after months of wearing these jeans for both riding and during the working day, they've very much retained their colour. There's really no visible wear, even on the bottom of the legs, where I must admit I always have slightly longer jeans. I prefer to have slightly longer jeans than shorter. So when I'm walking around the house and stuff, I do tend to be treading on the backs of them, and yeah, they've hardly worn at all. The stitching on them is very high quality, and one thing I do particularly like is that the pockets are nice and deep. So I always keep my phone and my wallet in my jeans pockets, and because they're that deep, I don't have any fear at all that I'm going to lose the contents of my pockets as I ride along. I also like the fact that for the knee armour you've got two sort of levels of pouch to put the knee armour in. You've got an inner one and an outer one. The inner one sits the armour slightly higher and the outer one sits it slightly lower, so you can adjust the position of the armour to suit where your knee particularly falls in the jeans. I always use the inner one so the armour sits slightly higher. And I have to say, when I've been out and about riding in these colder winter months, they do keep your legs really quite warm. I mean, obviously the wind does go through them a little bit, so they're not like the absolute warmest of things, but for general winter riding they are perfectly sufficiently comfortably warm. For really cold days, really sort of biting days, I tend to combine them with a lightweight pair of waterproof over trousers just to stop the wind a little bit, just for that little extra shell protection and also a little bit of protection from the rain. They're not waterproof, they do sort of shed a light shower reasonably well, and they tend to dry quite quickly as well, I've found, but really they're not designed to be waterproof, and if you're in sort of rainy conditions you do need waterproof trousers to go over the top of them, and that's how I normally commute, just for that extra little bit of warmth and comfort. They do feel a little bit heavier than the Taranis jeans. Obviously they do have that 25% extra weight, but they're still nice and flexible. There's no sort of issues of flexibility, certainly while I'm riding the bike, and when I've been at work I just keep them on. I don't change out of them into a lighter weight pair of trousers or jeans. They're perfectly comfortable to wear in the office. I don't find that I get too hot. Perhaps if you were working a particularly manual job, or you were sort of rushing around quite a lot, that you might feel a little bit hot in a sort of heated office, but just sort of sitting at a desk or doing some light manual work, I don't feel like I have a problem at all wearing them throughout the working day. I do tend to wear them in combination with my RST adventure boots, and I tuck them into the boots. They're not quite generously enough cut that they would go outside the boot, but I think that's a good thing, because if they did, they'd look a bit like bell bottoms, wouldn't they, if they were generously cut enough to go over the top of your boot. So I think that's a styling point really. You do need to tuck them into your boot if you've got big heavy boots like this, but if you've got those lightweight waterproof trousers, you can put them over the top should you wish. If you're in heavy rain, obviously it's better to have something that goes over the top of your boot rather than in it, and that's where my lightweight waterproof trousers come in. So yeah, overall I'd say that the feel of wearing these jeans is very similar to wearing a sort of heavy pair of good quality ordinary jeans and being able to ride your bike in them. With the Rayon armour in the knees and hips, it really adds very little bulk, and if you have the Smoothways armour in, it is a little bit bulkier and sort of it's a little bit more obvious that you're wearing motorcycle jeans. You can see this armour, it is there and you can see it, but it's far less obtrusive than the Smoothways armour, and it's cooler as well. I do tend to find if the weather's a little bit warmer, especially once you're off the bike and you're perhaps walking around outside or you are in the office, then the Smoothways armour can feel just a little bit warm and a little bit perhaps sweaty on your knees, but this really gets around that. It's got a sort of cellular structure that lets the air through. So yeah, a whole lot of positives to these Paranoid X Roadskin jeans. Are there any negatives? Well, possibly you will notice that little bit of extra weight, but it is tolerable, but you do notice that they are heavier than the Taranis jeans. That could be a good thing in terms of warmth, but if you've got a heavy manual job, then you perhaps wouldn't want to wear them all day doing that. The other thing is, I think you probably would have to wear them with a belt. If you don't like wearing a belt, then that might be a downside. The waist is nice and flexible and elasticated, so to stop that sort of gap opening up in the back when you're sort of, especially if you've got a sport bike and you're bent over, then I think you'd be better off wearing them with a belt, but I always wear a belt anyway. Now, at the time of filming this video, the Roadskin Paranoid X jeans are available on their website for £179.99. The normal price is £199.99, so if you're watching this in the future, that may well be the price that they're on for then. The Rayon armour is £34.99 for the 2 knees and another £34.99 for the 2 hips, but I'd say it's well worth the upgrade if you're considering buying these for regular daily use. Now, you can get 10% off your first order on the Roadskin website by using our affiliate link, which I'll put in the description below, or using our discount code at the checkout on the Roadskin website. So that's about it for my review of the Roadskin Paranoid X motorcycle jeans. I'm really pleased with them. I wear them literally every day that I'm going to be using the bike, which is most days, and I wouldn't hesitate really to recommend them to anyone who's looking for a nice heavyweight jean to give good protection and yet still be light enough to wear throughout the day if you're commuting. So that's it for me for this video, and we'll see you again very soon in the next one.